Okay. So first we'll start this evening with looking at last month's minutes. They were sent out this past week. Hope all of you had a chance to take a look at them. Is there any changes, revisions, additions, subtractions at all? Okay, then I'd like to have a nomination. No, I'm going to have a motion. Thank you. To if I could get a motion to okay the minutes for the month.
I make a motion to substitute.
Okay, if I could have a second.
I'll second. Lynn.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, those opposed. Okay, minutes are good. Okay, we're going to move on to the treasurer's financial report for July.
Thank you, Linda. So just to call out a few highlights from the treasurer's report that you might have seen in the email that was sent out. Just want to congratulate everybody, particularly the book sale volunteers and the committee, for the success that we had. The book sale had raised $7,595.68. So it is, if anybody's curious, it is slightly less. We've been noticing year after year we're trending down a little bit, and so that's why we decided football tournament this year. I think as we get into budget season, that could be something to think about as well. Might be trending down in fundraising, so additional fundraising for this year might help. But again, I'm sure tremendous success. We did also receive the second and final installment payment from the town of Bolton. That was $1,000. So that brings the total of the year to $8,000. About $5,000 of that. I just want to highlight the annual appeal. We had $600 in donations coming in July, so starting to trickle off. But we've had since the campaign last year, 267 generous donors, and we're up to a total of $26,449 in generous donations to the library. So another fantastic result. Just a note for everybody, also with the cost increases that we've seen across the board with everything. Stamps are costing a little bit more. We did go over budget with our stamps by $4. We have budgeted $5 for the year. We're at $109.50 stamps. So again, something to note when we go to do our budgeting, we'll probably bump that up as well, just to count for. So I just want to talk about Hometown Oil and revisit this from our last meeting. Over email, we had discussed pre-purchasing 620 gallons of fuel oil from Hometown Oil for the 2025-2026 season. So Linda, do I need to request that?
Right, so in order to make that official, just need to, the finance committee would like to make our recommendation again that we go ahead and pay them. We have done the contract with them, but officially, since an email vote is not official, we're now going to make it official by everyone who is in favor to say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, so we will be going ahead then with Hometown.
Okay, thank you. And then just also from the treasurer's report, we had also discussed over email since the last meeting that for the 25-2026 insurance season, the library will continue with the National Insurance Group. However, we have discussed in email making a change of broker request to put that policy to Kevin O'Brien. So again, same thing as for the finance committee. I would like to ask if there is a possibility of raising motion here to vote on that. Just make a recommendation. Make a recommendation.
Yes. So based on that recommendation, all those who are in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you. And so that's it from the treasurer's report that I wanted to highlight on this. We have some other topics in the finance committee that we will get to. But that should be it for that.
Good. Okay, then director, you have the table.
Although circulation appears to have got
got down some. I think that the library itself overall has been extremely busy. Sarah and I talked about, there are days that don't get to the daily chores that need to be done until they're, so that's why Sarah comes in early and I stay late. The library has been, with the on and off kind of weather we've had, it seems that especially like today, I noticed that it's never a limit, which in the wintertime can happen quite a bit. But so anyway, I think the number of people that are here is staying about the same, but the circulation is down. We did register 31 new patrons. We are, talking to each of them about TD Bank. There was someone who came in and she was throwing away the bank left here. There was another one who uses TD Bank, but in Lake Jersey. I don't think they can do this. I don't think that they can use their bank New Jersey without. But she was going to ask.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's true because I think that if you're TD Bank, it's a national chain. So, but it might be if you sign up, it might be based on where they're local.
Right.
Signs
So
up.
she was gonna go to her bank in New Jersey.
See if they have an official.
She would then let
it's
us know.
regional.
Yeah, that's part of it.
And one thing I wanted to comment though on here with you said circulation down. If you add your Libby checkouts to your total amount,
Sorry.
oh, Libby's included in the 148, 1,448. Oh,
It is
okay.
there.
Oh, okay.
I
I just thought that would
think that the Libby seems to stay about the same
per month.
per month. I don't think it takes any big jumps or falls, but it stays constant, which I think is great. And we have had with the people that come in and get library cards, Sarah and I always make a big deal about the Libby app, that service that we offer. And then we also tell them to get a library card through the New York Public Library. Because if it's someone who wants to download books, they do it a lot. And sometimes there's a wait for our books because there's so many people using it, whereas the New York Public Library is a lot better. I thought it was great that 31 people signed up and got a new library card. We've added quite a few new books and DVDs. A lot of that was donations. When people bring DVDs in as a donation, either for the book sale, we go through those like with a fine tooth comb to see because now we have shelf space. We add stuff that we might not normally have added. Our programs have the trivia seems to be doing really well. Last night was this week was amazing. We didn't get as many people, but there was this family of 3, and they won. They won $54. They loved the evening, and they donated the $54 back to the library. And then he wanted to chat a little bit about books that he's been reading. He's now retired, and he said that he decided to go back and read the classics that he'd been forced to read in high school. And there were ones he found out were Uncas Island came from because he read The Last of the Mohicans. So Sarah and I both were really impressed. They just gave the money back. And you posted their picture of
I'm going to tonight. Yeah.
the later. So I just thought that was wonderful. And they said that they would come again next year. We have some upcoming programs. The TIC program, which I thought was so important. There were 3 people here. What was so interesting was how excited the woman was that anybody was here, and how excited she got about TICs. Where I sat here going, Ginger Henry's program was really well attended. Everybody really enjoyed it. Ruth Nelson's program was so interesting, and there wasn't very many people here. But it was about the World's Fair back in the 60s in the Piazza, which is the statue of Mary Piazza. How the Vatican was invited to be at the World's Fair and asked to bring Piazza. And it was a big deal for Italy for that statue to be here in the United States. In fact, Italians didn't want them to do it. But then the story she told was they had the statue so wrapped and protected for the fish to come over on the boat, and there just happened to be some Italians coming to America. and they were overheard, one was overheard saying to the others, "He happens to shit. That will hold the bear." Because she was wrapped in styrofoam, so she would not say. But it was really fascinating, just the story. So, and we have copies of those books. And the Herbert Jensen's story, his talk about Vietnam was so wonderful. And he packed the house. It's almost all of the residents who now live here. And that's where he lives.
Okay.
Coming up tomorrow night is Nancy Kimball. She is the wildlife rehabilitator.
Ted's program.
Say it again.
Ted's program.
Also, Ted Caldwell, it's not in here because his program was in August, but it was a sold out crowd. We had to lock the doors because we would go over the limit that the county set. And I knew that was a total bad thing. He has agreed to do it again.
We don't have a date yet for that?
We do. He called the other day, it's October 30th.
30th.
If you haven't seen it, it was great.
It was.
He's a
Very
great
good.
performer.
Yep.
And he's got slides and he tells you all sorts of stories about these different hotels.
And 10 people asked questions and he knew the answer to
Immediately.
every
Yeah.
single one.
No,
Like
okay.
people, like, did you know the guy that blah, 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 and yep, know him and his
Yeah.
family,
I love the
So-
answer he gave the guy. He said, "You didn't even include the biggest hotel." And Ted looked at me and said, "God, that's the Sagamore." Ted, well, basically his answer was, to be fair, this was about the hotels in an era. If you want to talk about the Sagamore, sure.
and then he talked a little bit about it.
No, it was really good, and a number of people have asked us to see if we could do it again, and he said absolutely. He also has said that he will do a program next summer that might involve bus tour.
We did that with, we
We did that years ago.
That was
Where
great.
he would go around town and go to all of the old churches and the old schoolhouses, and Ted would talk about all of those. So that's definitely in the works. I'm very excited that the state librarian is coming to visit us next 2 weeks. A woman who worked at Sal's now works for the state library, and she wants to give her a sense of those small libraries, the small rural libraries, so she chose us to bring the state librarian to Sunday.
So one of the 5 in Sal's area, that is quite an honor.
I think it's amazing.
Unfortunately, yes, I know, I can't be there because I'm going to my mom's 90th birthday party. So if there's someone that could be there, I think it would be great to have someone for the board in addition to Megan and Sarah there. So if you guys could check your schedule, any or all of you, they'd be excited to. If we had a couple board members
That would be
there,
awesome.
that would be great. So if everybody would write down whoever could come and it's her actual birthday, September 14th. My sister's 10, so we'll all be together for that too, but,
She's the 11th.
it is, yes.
At what time?
10:45, right? Is it?
I don't have to email in front of, wait. I think it's 10.
Write it down in the list of things. I wanted to make sure it's there.
I have to, we'll be emailed out at night before.
10:45-ish.
Yeah, 10:45-ish is, but they're probably going to 5 different libraries, so it could.
It's great because we have developed a relationship with Erica, who is the South employee. And also Jack Scott, who Sarah and I talk to all the time, is also going to be kind of guiding the tour. And he loves that. So
That's good, and they probably would stay for half an hour, right?
Yeah.
Visiting.
So we're really excited about that. And this summer, we have heard so many great comments about this library. It's been wonderful to hear. Just the atmosphere here, the train tables, it always a hit. It's just been a really good summer for all. I mean, when you're driving home and you have to get through town and the traffic's bad, it's nice to be able to say, but today was a really good day at the library.
It is. And how about when that young man came in with this little boy, and it's
That was so cool.
and he goes, are none of you Megan? And me, I'm he goes, oh, I used to come in here when his little boy was 2. And he said, I used to come in here when I was his age. And he
You remembered my name. And I remembered his mother.
Wow.
And he said that the library hadn't changed. Like, yes, it has. It has changed a lot since you were that little. But he was lovely. He was so excited that I was here and that his kids played with the train set. It's really cool. And I said, you know what?
That train set wasn't there,
It was not.
No, okay.
In 40 some years, that's the first time that has ever happened. I'm like, that's so cool. So, my overall and my report is it's really been a great summary.
So the after-school program starts back on the 18th.
Yes, Bambi and I talked at the last farmer's market, and she said she likes that first 2 weeks of the school to get the kids into a routine, and then she'll be back here. And I've already talked to Mary about the first one we're doing. It's going to be like an introductory thing. There's a project you can do with, like we have a roll of brown paper, and we give the kids draw an outline of themselves on the paper, and then they can decorate it and introduce themselves to us. And then there's some books that are about, like story of tea, that kind of story. So looking forward to that.
Okay. Your continuing education, anything you want to say about
No,
that?
there were great announcements. The what's great about these is that they also include the list of the books they talk about, and then I'm able to go on in Amazon and look to see, if there's ones that I should add to the collection. So those are really good programs to do.
Okay, great. All right, any questions for Megan? And social media, anything to do with that?
Nope, we continue to very slowly grow for both Facebook and Instagram accounts, so that's positive. It's just slow and steady. We have 620 followers on Instagram and just over 1,161 on Facebook. We don't get a lot of play on Facebook as far as likes, shares, and comments, but our content was seen over 13,300 times the last 28 days. So it's getting out there. And if you happen to be on Facebook or Instagram, if you think of it, pull up Bolton Free Library and just like us or add a comment. It helps with the algorithm to get us in front of more folks. It activates the algorithm. And the MailChimp newsletter, we're up to 237 subscribers, so we're moving steadily along in the right direction on that.
I wanted to mention something, and Sarah and I already talked about it. In 10 days, less than 10 days, the subscription that people signed up for the newsletter jumped 10%. Yeah. So people that came in and got library cards, and we would say, would you like to see the newsletter? And they said yes, so we would add them. And so then I checked the percentage, like, wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, we grabbed a lot of people at the Children's Book Festival and asked them if they'd like to sign up for the newsletter. So I think that was just a good reminder. Anytime we have an event or anything, have a little sign up thing and have the QR code out there and a manual sign up. So folks who aren't tech savvy or don't want to be tech savvy can just sign up, and we'll do a little permission slip. And then we'll sign them up manually ourselves after the event.
That's a good thing before we do any talk, before or after, either before or after, say, if you're not getting our newsletters, make sure.
Like self-promotion.
Very good. So could I have a motion to accept the director's report?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, so that's second by Joan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved. Okay, nothing with we're gonna move to the committee reports then, nothing with the executive, but we're back down to here with financial. Thank you, Linda.
So I just want to highlight as well, the farmer's market to date. I know that in the treasurer's report, we have a monthly tally, which for July was $639, but I think everybody's going to be really excited to learn that to date for the entire summer, so this is through the last farmer market last weekend, we have earned $1,364 from the great efforts of our volunteers. So Joan and Megan and all of our volunteers, thank you. Thank you.
Outstanding.
And Sarah too, because Sarah prepares everything. And
Right.
Megan.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sarah's holding down the fort while Megan's there.
Yeah.
We also talked about
Right,
Yes.
right.
And it's not just a source of important revenue, but it's a great way that you're spreading our library. So thank you to everybody that's putting the word out.
Well, just to follow Megan, we get a lot of positive feedback, from the local people as well as the visitors to Bolton every single Friday. And then I encourage them to walk over and come see the library. Now, I'm not sure how often that happens, but, yeah, it's really.
We get a
fun
fair
to
amount.
With everybody. And the hit too is, the bingo cards. They love those bingo cards. And I know you've got a lot back, over the summer. And I also say, if you can't return them locally, maybe the parents could supply the reward. And that's another positive thing that's going on there, as well as the journals. Those are very, very popular. Wow. I don't have a total on how many we've given out, but we've given out a lot this summer.
Good, good. It was a really funny thing that happened one day when I was over there. These people came by and they were definitely not from this country. And they thought that our table was the library. She wondered why we had no books. She said, there's another library? And I said, this is not.
So just to update you also on the treasurer transition with Michelle, as you know, she's been largely enjoying her time now for most of the summer. So we're really trying to let her be. I do have some contact when necessary, but in that spirit, we are still transitioning a lot of the payroll activities. That's a huge chunk of work as well. And so right now, the thing that I'm focused on is developing a schedule that Megan can fill out weekly, because right now she's doing it via email. We're hoping to put together this schedule that allows Megan to still just kind of put in the hours that you're putting in, but this spreadsheet automatically computes everything. How many hours of the week, what your overtime is, and so hopefully this will make the process very easy. We're also really working on making it visually very easy to look at, use, so it doesn't feel like Excel, Word document. And so we're going to roll this out very soon. It'd be good if I could finish it up in the next day or two. And then since we're going to be starting new hours next week when you do the schedule, what I'd like to do is actually sit with you for the first week before you're doing it. Okay. So that you're very comfortable.
You can figure that out.
And then, we'll go from there. So I just want to keep everybody updated on that. If it works, it's going to be great because it gives a lot of data. I want to see it, and hopefully it'll make Megan's life a lot easier as well. In terms of the fall preview, I know that I had just touched on that briefly in the treasurer's email, but really the bulk of the finance conversation tonight is about the upcoming budget cycle. We're already here, right? I can't believe it's already like September. And so what I'm going to be asking tonight is that all of the committee chairs really start thinking about your budget needs for the next year. And what I would like to do is over the course of the next month, if you need to have a conversation with me, I'd really love to sit down with you, just so that we can talk about what your needs are looking like, answer any questions that you might have. We don't have to make it a big complex meeting. We can just touch base via phone if you want. But I do want all the committee chairs to start thinking about that budget. We would like to have your first draft of inputs back by the next September board meeting. That gives me about a week to turn that around into a budget, a first cut at the budget to see what it's starting to look like. And then obviously, we want you guys to really think about what all of those big needs are, keeping in mind that we may have to trim depending on where we come out, but let's see what comes out first, right? This is an iterative process over the next few months. Some of you have been on the board who have been through these budget cycles before, so your knowledge and sharing that with other people on your committees is going to be tremendously important. And if you haven't been through a budget cycle before, definitely just ping me on email. Let's set up some time. Let's have a phone call. I can walk you through the line items, the P&L statement that would be considered your kind of area of responsibility for the budget. And then I was touching base with Megan. From my understanding, because I'm also new here, I understand that the committee chairs receive this form every year. This is a request form. It kind of kicks off the process. Something to help you start thinking about what types of budgetary needs you might have and what you need to ask for from the budget. And so I want all of the committee chairs to go home with this tonight, start taking a look at it. Again, if you've been through a budget cycle before, it's probably open to you. If you haven't, let's definitely make some time to talk. And then the finance committee is going to scheduling meetings soon so that we can start to get together and really think about how the site is going for the next few months. We're just starting to kick this off, really just start to think about this right now, okay? So I'm gonna make sure that every committee chair gets this before the meeting. I don't know. Go ahead and take one. Before I move on to any other next topics, are there any additional questions? I know that you might have a lot of questions. Might not necessarily be the best forum for us to take it offline. But is there anything like top of mind or high level that you want to ask that you think other people might benefit from here at the conversation?
I just want to say that your report that you sent out was so good. It was so clear. I sometimes look at the report doctors and I know that my eyes kind of glaze over, but you made everything so. The one that you sent out, the narrative that you wrote.
Oh, really?
I mean, I just thought it was great. And I think I answered you by saying, I have no question.
Okay.
So, I mean, I was really impressive.
Great. I'll keep doing that. Great. Yeah. You guys like it. And again, let me know if there's something you don't like, let me know. Great.
The preview really is very good.
Perfect. Yeah, that's good to hear. So again, just keep thinking about it. You know, you are not alone in this budget cycle. This is a team effort here, right? And so I'll be reaching out to you guys reach out to me, and we're just gonna make this an iterative process. Please know what we're looking at in terms of timeline down the road, that we really want to have this thing solidified probably the end of November, because we do need to vote on it at the December 4th meeting. So, we would like to go through we will need to go through several iterations of the budget before we get down to something that is ready for recommendation for vote. So we're looking at doing, again, like I said, let's have initial numbers for the September 4th meeting. That gives me a week to turn around and first cut of the budget. Gives us some months to go through, like maybe a second and a third cut of the budget, and then we'll just keep iterating through that. So finance committee members can expect that we'll be reviewing in person, just refining. Let's see. That's everything that I had. Oh, just one other, small utility update. If anybody gets into the weeds when they look at the financial reports, we used to have Dynamic Energy Holdings as one of our utility providers. They've been acquired by or merged with Solar Simplified, so we didn't see that change in vendor summary. It just issued the first invoice to the library in August. Now, everybody's down, so you'll see that change.
I just want to comment on the bank charging you to prove
Oh.
the bank.
Yes.
I think that's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that charge.
The bank has charged.
You got charged $7 and $7.69
To make a deposit.
to make. We get a $5,000 limit on cash deposits every month, and that's the checking account package that we have. Unfortunately, like if we wanted to go to the no fee type, we don't have that kind of business to qualify for like that next tier. So I talked to Michelle about it. We usually only incur that fee for the book sale, and then occasionally some years for the 1 month annual bill.
It's just right.
Split it into 2 months. Yeah. You know, I talked to the bank about it, and they were like, well, you could take some of the money if you don't want to incur that $7 fee, you can deposit it straight into the money market fund. But that starts to get very complicated from an accounting process, because then, the operational fund is in our checking account, the money market fund is in our reserve fund. We really want to avoid that complexity of money back and forth. So $7.96.
Is it based on a percentage of what we've deposited over the 5,000, or is it per transaction?
I think it's per transaction. Yeah, I think it's per transaction. I don't have the actual physical contract over that. It's a very old. They were struggling to find our original checking product that the library had signed up for. So I'm going to figure out a way to spend some time in their archives asking them to find that. See, but right now that's what happening. It's usually once or twice a year.
Because if it was per transaction, we can make sure that we don't go and do, like, we could do the cash drawer and the flea market, farmer's market all at the same time instead of doing two separate. But you think it's because we went over 5 now. And that's actually the end of the month.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
It's, yes.
If we got to the end of the month where we could like save ourselves some of us, but then
I
you
was
complain like, what's the insurance risk of having that money so you gotta save? And it's
Yes.
like, you know, so yeah, it's a little frustrating. Like bank fees.
I have just one quick question, and it's because South has a schedule of when they'll stop maintaining the computers. Is there any way you can tell me how old our laptop is?
No, but I will find that answer
That's
for you.
that's what that would be
So
so.
how old your laptops are?
Yeah, we just have one. I'm hoping that if it's not going to be maintained, we probably need to
Budget for that.
budget for a new laptop.
And yes,
Do they let you know though? Don't they keep track of what year you purchased it and then
They tell me
let you, and then they send.
In the
okay,
last
you
email
have
that they
one.
sent, they didn't. But I think when they get closer to, when they put together
Our contractor.
the order form, then it will be in that email, but I just kind of wanted a heads up.
are you able to forward me an email or something with a contact?
I will look for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. You know, and Megan raises a good point too from the budgeting perspective, and that's things that I can touch on just very basically is when you're thinking about where your committees, and this is really important for like buildings and grounds, for example, and Megan and Sarah, is we have capital expenditures, which are large improvements to the library, right? Like big construction jobs, big technology. And then we have operational type expenses, flowers, carpets, supplies, things like that. So when you're thinking about your budget for next year, think about those big capital expenditures like software, hardware, things like that. If you have to upgrade computers or laptops, but also think about your operations as well. So it's kind of a two-pronged approach there. And then we also see a lot of that CapEx and operating expenses on buildings and grounds committee as well. So just keep that in mind as you're thinking about what your needs might be budgeted next year. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Yes, and
Aaron, thank you.
So, policies and procedures, we don't have any on the blocks now, but once we're done making that schedule, we'll have a policy for doing the new schedule. So that's all. Is there anything else that we do that we need new policies or procedures for that you can think of?
Think of anything right now?
No. Okay. So as new operations come up and things like that, that we need to add to our.
One suggestion I would make is might want to consider some type of policy. I hate having something mandatory, but I think that as we go forward, Aaron's very focused on insurance. And we do a lot of things, maybe not as off-site, but I think making it a policy that the director and the treasurer and the president work together on insurance needs might be a really good policy.
So in other words, make it a policy that
So
the program committee gives the treasurer
and
the
you a
president.
heads up now about a budget for it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big deal, and we definitely have to have some kind of coverage.
No, I think that's
For
really
any
good suggestion, right? Because like
offside.
if building the ground, if you're bringing a volunteer who wants to do a major construction project for free, right? We might need to check our insurance requirements or their insurance requirements. It would be good that every committee, like we have a policy that covers if you're on a committee and you have an activity where there is a level of risk or liability, contractors or children being here, potential physical activities happening on our site, they notify the finance committee so that they can well ahead of time, so they work with the insurance company just to make sure that all boxes are checked. That would probably be
So you gotta call it like risk management or something like that.
Yeah, just, everybody in the finance sense for it and just let the finance committee know if you think there might be something.
send you an email that says, I'm gonna climb the step ladder now.
So, that brings us down to the long range planning committee, which I know that they've been busy bees.
Busy little bees. We have 73 surveys so far. I think that's nowhere near what we need. It's not represented.
I have one more.
174. We thought this was just an idea that we might have this meeting. For the annual review, would it be possible to put a survey in the
Good, we have done that before. I think about 10 years ago, right?
probably?
When the last, they did a survey about 10 years ago.
Was there a true response?
No.
I like that, let's, before we decide to do that, and that will go out by November, let's just see between now and then if what we are putting a link on social media and in our newsletter, right? So we can be hopeful that we might get, what is a good number? What,
Final number?
yeah, I mean,
Well,
when,
there
what
are
number would serve?
I don't.
Is it,
I don't feel like, yeah, we have a goal. We're like getting a
variety.
oh, cross section.
But right now, we're just.
Okay.
And library, like, we need to figure out how to get.
Well, that was our
Non-library
discussion. Amy is going to really go after it at school. Kate is going to go at it board for the school to see what we can do.
I started a list of like the events that are coming up, because we're planning to do the live music festival, and there's a few other things going on. I think it looks like the farmer's market does a garage sale. It's on the chamber
Yes,
website, but not on the
yes.
farmer's market website.
Like the garage site.
I think it's October
No,
11th.
it's like the farmer's market, but the tables, it sounds like are just people.
Well, there's some tables in downtown. They give you a map.
No, they're
Okay.
gonna change
The
that.
farmer's
Yeah.
market has, they do a farmer's market on the day of the townwide garage sale.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's a Saturday, and we've already been invited to participate.
okay. So then we can collect some there.
Yes.
To answer your question. Yeah. The grant.
Yeah, I'm going to the chamber, see if I can talk to those people. So we're trying to branch out.
Right.
Fall is coming.
And we've done it to the coffee hour and the book club,
Not yet.
not yet, so we'll have to have them.
The summer was kind of farmer's market and books sale at the book fair. We added a new member to our committee. Kate Baker has come. She's going to be very helpful. She knows a lot of people and she knows a lot of ways to do things with the computer that I sit there being fascinated. Should be too.
I was expecting friends.
And let's see. I think that's about it. Just we're working on, I've got a spreadsheet going, so we've got an idea of where things sit. Both of them.
Yeah.
So that's page one. Yes.
Yes. Well, I got it all to fit on one page,
No, there should be 4 questions.
but I just kept making it smaller and smaller.
Okay, well,
So you just need glasses, so I got that. And she also,
magnifying.
she also sent me a list of the different comments people have made. So I brought a copy, so I thought if everybody wanted to take a look at it, those for the committee that haven't seen it, if anybody wants to take a look at them, they're kind of interesting,
We also thought it would be a really good idea right now, not the staff, just the board members. We have a pop quiz for you. And if you would do this today
Yeah,
before
before
you
you had
leave,
done this,
it
you just
is a
asked.
3-minute survey maximum. So if you guys could fill this up before you leave, you're going to be standing at the door, you won't get out without having to be a copy.
Did you also think about were you gonna make it shorter or the amount of
At
answers
this
shorter?
point,
Or
we
just
decided to wait.
still leave it? Okay. Alright, great, well, great job, I mean, really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, that brings us to fundraising. So Joan, you already mentioned some things about the farmers market. We know the amount of money we made. Now, there is a couple things that are important, right? So we need to add one more week that we didn't know about.
Yes, yes.
So that date, do we have the sign up sheet there?
That date is Friday, September 5th, I believe.
Yeah, so do we have the sign
No,
up
we
sheet?
never had that sign up.
But I mean, our sign up sheet that we have. Can we,
Yeah, it should be here, but
Yeah.
there was never one, because we
There's
never.
no line, we don't have a line.
can we add on to that or do we need to make a new
Well,
one?
I think the confusion came this year because Labor Day's early. And generally, you know, they ended the farmer's market around Labor Day.
Thought it, I gave, Terry actually made this up, although we did redo it. So,
I've got some here in mine.
so we're just gonna add this date onto the bottom. And we need more people then. If Megan, are you still going to do it
Do you, Bill?
in the afternoon?
Yeah, Sarah and I already talked about it,
So that-
she's gonna be here that Friday morning.
9-5, is that what it is?
Yes. So I'll do the last shift.
Like always, that's great, thank you.
So I could send, I'm gonna try to send something out to the friends, because we need those filled out for that date, and we also need for the music fest. So I did do a sheet that, but we can add on to that, one of the items here.
The October farmers market, Scottsdale, whatever.
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, you did last.
We did?
Well, I don't think they ended up having it or something, right?
Well, my understanding is that, who's the lady that started this a long time ago? She's always there in the first booth.
She's not, it's not the one who started it, but it is Penelope.
Penelope.
Now the one in charge.
Yeah, Penelope, okay, she said she started it a long time ago. And she said for this year, there's not going to be the town-wide garage sale that is not the same weekend as Warrensburg, so there's no competition there. And in the past, they always had people sign up and they issued maps, so you knew who was planning on having the garage sale that weekend. She said instead of that, I believe it's October 11th, I just sat down on the calendar right in front of me, that it'd be a garage sale. Community people can purchase a table and it's one day and it's over there at the church, the same site as the. Wow,
That's on the chamber's website.
that's really
limited.
Is there, cause I haven't, yeah, cause I mean, I went back and forth today, I was here in the library this morning, you know, with Megan, and that's what I finally concluded that.
Yeah, I couldn't find details about it, but it mentions the village.
Well, I guess we would have one more meeting before that if we did decide we wanted to do it. But at this point, if they're mostly just selling, it's garage sale stuff, right?
So like people can rent
I
tables and
Yes,
sell
yes.
stuff.
Yes.
I think what the chamber site says. It says like
Penelope made it sound as though it is the farmer's market.
I spoke to her today personally, and she told me that's the way it's going to be.
Who
this
did you
year.
talk to?
Penelope.
I think Elaine is the one to talk to by the chamber, because they were the ones that always ran the garage sale.
it's on there as a farmer's market event.
Yeah, but I think Elaine would know if it
Yeah.
was going to have anything.
See, that's been the problem. One hand is not talking, to the other, but, you know, we're getting
Yeah.
mixed messages
So
here, and
that's-
it's hard to cipher
Then
through.
that's enough of reason that we're not gonna, at least at this point, we could change our mind next month and decide to do it if we think it has a more clear vision or, but for now, we'll just sign up, so we need signups for the last Friday for the farmer's market. And then for coverage for the music fest, which is a totally different time frame. It starts at 12. We'll take over all the same, we'll set it up just like farmer's market, except though,
We'll have to bring everything.
no, we don't have, I don't think we'll have a canopy.
Cause they provide that for us.
They,
The farmer's.
the farmer's market
does
does,
provide that.
so we may only have a table. So
There are
that,
canopies upstairs.
You
Could
could
the one
take
that
that-
you used during.
that's true, we could take our
They're
own
at the book
canopy
sale.
then. We could, are they upstairs or just Carla
Very good. I
I
can
know
find out.
other tables upstairs.
We'll have to take a look before that date, but we sign up, set up at 11:30 to 12, and then every 2 hours, we could have a different set of volunteers, and we're not gonna sell anything but what we do at the farmer's market, we're just gonna do raffles and logos.
We still will sell raffle tickets that
Yes,
day.
because we're not gonna do
The drawing set,
It's right out.
like that
That's right,
day,
yeah.
yes, we're gonna,
whenever you're like getting ready to wrap up,
right,
you do the drawing.
yes, and it's nice to do a drawing in a nice public place too,
Yeah.
that we can
So
have
maybe
people.
speak to, I know Elaine is not at the boat festival, that is, she goes away on vacation. So speak to whoever is in charge that day, and they could actually announce the winner over the loudspeaker.
Okay.
Just a point that, we talked about, Sarah and I, when we do the farmer's market now, we both are here, so we both get paid so that we can use the farmer's market, that definitely should be considered. And if we decide to do the one in October, the same situation would happen, where it's, we have to be paying two of us for it. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's another reason, probably.
But if you wanted to have your presence out in the community during the garage sale weekend, it's been discussed in the past having a table out on the front lawn. There's definitely, especially in the summertime, there's a lot of foot traffic that goes, that's going to be walked side of, right? So, it might be
We could think about setting something, we won't have raffles anymore, because it's,
Right.
Right, but we could have a table out front.
could have
And just
somebody out there
have
with the
this.
surveys.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the same day they held that class, touch thing on the chamber website, it also
Yeah,
had
that's scheduled.
the PTO did a bake sale table one morning of the pumpkin thing, and I don't know if there were other tables there or not, or the chamber would let us have a table at the match.
Yeah, I mean, and it wouldn't have to be anything too complicated, it could just be a table and doing surveys and the bag logos and whatever.
I just was kind of curious as, how many volunteers I did have this summer. Because I know it's difficult in the summertime. We all live in a resort area and family and friends like to come up and visit. And that really, I think, has made it a challenge to be able to fill all of those slots every single Friday. I looked at it and what my breakdown was, we had 14 volunteers, and I'm thinking maybe they came from the Friends of the Library or just stopping in the library. I don't know how people, were able to sign up, but I got 14 volunteers that helped. Now, one particular volunteer gave many, many weeks, but I just counted for once. All right. There were two staff members, Megan and Sarah helped, in the preparation of Megan's presence over there on Fridays. And we only had 4 board members. And I really think that more people need to step up and help in the farmers market. The biggest task really is the setup, because I've come every single Friday except for once when I was away at 7:30 in the morning. There's nobody here. And I have to, get the things that are centrally located to the door, out the door, in the back of my car, drive it over, unload it, park the car. Right. What I have done is that I can't take the wagon. The wagon won't fit in my car. The first volunteer that comes for the first shift, I ask them to please come back, walk over to the library. I kind of hide it right here behind the handicap door, so it's not visible from the street, and that seems to work out. But that's the biggest problem, is getting volunteers. The volunteers I've had have been wonderful, only one no-show one time, and fortunately I was able to cover for that person. I don't know what the solution is. I think that's true, in any organization. You start to look around and everybody's got gray hair that's doing all the volunteering because we've got the free time. But
Jody,
that has
to help you this Friday.
Yes.
To get over there at 7:30.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate
And
that.
Hal has a truck, that truck.
Well, that walking over, I think, is not
Okay.
too much of a demand,
But
but thank you.
Yeah, Hal goes to set up for another.
Oh, I didn't realize that,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's with the back.
Okay, well, thank you, yeah.
Maybe next year, if we think about changing the schedule a little bit for the farmer's market. So the first volunteers either get here at 8, I mean, doesn't start till 9.
But you know what the problem is? People come early and you have a hard time parking your car as close to our booth so that you don't have to lug all this stuff and then they want you to get it out. And that's not a problem, and then parking your car. So you really want to get in and out and the earlier the better, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I said to Joan, why don't you call the people that are volunteering first and have them come here and meet you, but they weren't able to do that often, or you
I
didn't
didn't
wanna-
expect that of them, because it does say 8:30 to 11 for the first shift. And I just call 7:30 shift the early bird shift, and I think that could be tweaked. I don't think you really have to be
Yeah.
here at
Because-
7:30.
More for a parking spot.
Yeah, that's more for getting, place to get it. So we'll have to think about that. Well, first of all, we need another person on the committee, and Terry wasn't able to fulfill the year, so that was really part of the problem.
Unfortunate,
Yeah, and so when we do get either an interim or a new, we will make sure that we're not a one-man band. And I'm sorry that happened to you, but
No,
despite that, you did a tremendous job, and so I would.
I have to say, I really feel that I was supported by everyone, and I appreciate that. To go over there, it really is a lot of fun. The time goes by very quickly, and even if you have out-of-town guests or just somebody that wants to visit, they're welcome to come. They can sit in the booth with us and hear us, the chit-chat. Walk around. They can buy things at the market, and if they still need to kill time, they can just walk around the town here. There's a lot to see and do first thing in the morning. So, please don't feel that that's the only reason you can't help, because, we can help you, cover that time.
Yeah, that's a real bird. Wow. But no, we need to talk it up amongst our neighbors and stuff, or friends that we have, to come help volunteer and spend some time in the booth, and because they'll enjoy it, like you said, once they get here, they'll enjoy it.
Well, Penelope told me today, she said, why don't you try the Senior Citizen Center next year? And so I'm going to do that, because I think the seniors love to get out and volunteer and meet people. So
Yeah, or come to the coffee group.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's here.
Yeah.
Because
They're not doing it. That they're not coming the Tuesday.
Okay,
Because
but I mean,
they-
but
for next year.
like in March or April, go to that coffee, because that would be a good amount of people that would help.
Yeah, it's a new population you might start to tap into, and they can be helpful to all.
And the age is for senior citizens is 55.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sarah, oh wait, she can't join because she doesn't live in.
What's the date? October.
It's the first Tuesday.
for for the coffee, okay.
So I will cover surveys.
Yep, October 7th.
And so I have the sign up going around for the, next Friday, and for the music fest. And I will also send an email out to the friends of, hoping, we'll get some additional people to help out. It's funny, like, for instance, the lady that had just emailed that she wanted to volunteer, and you sent it to me. I've emailed her 3 times and she hasn't gotten back to me, because I thought, farmer's market would be the perfect thing for her to start out with, So I have a list of over 50 friends who have got the information, so I don't.
So popular.
Yes, but friends of the library, they're not my friends, but I have more than that. But anyway, so it is true. What she's saying is that a lot of people don't want to commit because they have so much vacation, that so many people coming to visit them and things like that. But it doesn't mean we should get a bigger group. So hopefully we will next year. All right, the Church of Saint Sacrament, all of the tickets were sold. Wow. All the tickets were sold, and we sold our share that they gave us here, which was great. And so good luck to anybody who bought a ticket.
I tried, there weren't any more.
Really?
Saved $100.
Yes,
Stephanie
that was the
actually
day.
movie came in, and I think she spent $500, and then she came back the other day, yesterday, and she wanted 3 more. and they were done. She was not able to get that, so I was really excited.
Wow, gambler. So anyway, that would probably, think, when did they do that?
Saturday.
Is it really?
End of the month.
August
I
30th,
think it's
August
Labor Day
31st.
I know it's Labor Day weekend.
That's Sunday? August 31st.
So, that's wonderful. As you all know, we'll be getting a $5,000 donation. So we'll have to put that on the list of thank yous. We're getting to that part. Okay, buildings and grounds, we didn't have too much new for this month, do we?
Carla's found a lock back door. She actually found a lock that's gonna work,
Oh, okay.
because the door is still, it just doesn't unlock.
And we are still, when we have a free Sunday, we want to do it on a Sunday, but we're gonna take the door off and shave the bottom and then put the fashion back on.
So Carla, it is good to be on the credit card bill. She used a library credit card, but she couldn't find it through the business account, so she ordered it in her name, but used a library credit card for the lock. I don't, but I will find it.
Oh, don't worry, I'll probably see a charge and email you today, like.
Okay.
hey, this is what's in here.
Okay, and the flag, we still haven't heard back from the gentleman who's gonna put up the flagpole. Reupholstering is, we're gonna work on in the fall, talked about the lock. The handicap accessible doors, unfortunately, we're gonna have to put off because we needed to know by the end of the month. We needed a detailed
Estimate.
thank you for that. He wasn't able to get here, so we're not gonna be able to apply for the grant until next year. So we have to do that.
I was talking to John Caddy about like, and he didn't have any idea about, he didn't know anybody that had dark sky friendly. Lights on the top of these, like, there are lights, Sarah found some that you can mount on the top of the flagpole that shines down. And I found someone.
We should make that happen.
Yeah, so we should get, but we probably want to get that attached to the pole before the pole gets put up there.
Right, yeah.
It's like, oh, you can have fire, or come put it on.
I mean,
Is it solar, is that how it works?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, my dad has that. Yeah.
I
I
get-
get it counts dark sky certified, came up as like over 1,000. Oh, but it's like, what people rules going on, but Sarah had found some that may not be certified, but they do shine down.
okay.
Much more nice. But that was nothing worked in.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'll let Carlin know. That, I mean, I hope he just doesn't, just show up one day and put it up without letting us know.
Yeah.
So I think I'll have Carla reach out to his wife, to let us know before he comes, so we can have everything ready. And then we got new trucks, they came in. They're a little bit smaller, aren't they, than the other ones were? Did you notice that? Weren't the other ones wider?
Well, they fit nice and.
Yes, yes, I do. They look better.
Convenience.
No, the measurements were,
But it may be shorter.
Yeah, well, maybe it's shorter. It just seems smaller. But they do look good, and it's little Adirondack trees, which is great. So, and I think that's it, right? Is there anything else with buildings and grounds, Lynn, that, if anybody notices anything to the building, I know that, that is one thing that, Carla's gonna get an estimate to start, the trim, trim painting, because that's starting to go. So that, might be something that we would use our capital budget for from the township.
Yeah, good. During the budget cycle, sick with the buildings and grounds committee, and just really talk over what are some of the big capital expenditures that we need coming down the road, either this year or next year. So we can plan that out.
I think we gave some of them to the long range committee, but that's been a while ago, so.
Some of what?
The, what kinds of things that would need to be moved to the building long range,
I don't remember it.
Maybe it was, maybe that's what it was. So, okay. For buildings and grounds. So, book sale, Mary, do you want to say anything? Again, okay. Anything else you need from us? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. People ask at the farmer's market, when are you accepting donations? And I said I did not know. Do you have a date? Because I don't think you want to see a lot of new books quite this soon.
Yeah.
We've already got.
We've
They
already-
can bring them in. Oh, they can already have some.
It's hard for, it's really hard for us to say no.
Right.
But and especially the weeks, the last one before Mary Super Fast Day, there's a lot of brand new books. A man collected an avid reader of nonfiction, so there's a lot of brand nonfiction, which is great. It's hard to say no to that.
I think originally we were saying after September 1st, right? Is what we had sort of said. And so the people I saw at the farmer's market, that's what I was telling them, September 1st. So, which is already next
So
week.
I can say that. It's legit.
Yes.
So there's the town, there are 2 book clubs in the town, the library has one, and then there's the town, it's the whole book club that they've been meeting for over 100 years.
That's what.
Same people. Yes, yes. One of the members that mentioned to me last 2 weeks ago that they're never asked to help with any of our activities, and they would love to help with the farmers market. Now I know the group is much smaller than it used to be, but
Well, there's 10.
so I spoke to Lydia Hall, who someone that is the president of that book club. I don't.
We kind of roll.
Okay. Anyway, she said absolutely she can be called when you need volunteers for the books. This is for Mary.
Okay. So I can give you the names too. Okay.
I think
Well,
that
if we get the name and the email address, we'll put them on the friends list.
Yeah.
So you can,
Oh, that's good.
if they want to be friendly.
so you can write down and we can look her up. Candy, Canbi, Skimmerhorn, and we have her phone number. She would love to help with a lot of different things.
So, in fact, if I can get them, we can get them for the second class. Help with that.
You would I would give Candy a call from and see like
Yes, and ask her to tell her we have this event, and to get her, talk to everybody else in the book club. They're ready and come sign up. That'd be a great introduction. Okay, so and Mary, the book, found nothing else that you need to get. All right, then personnel, we have nothing new. Oh, grants. Sarah, would you like to say anything about the grant? Tell them the good news.
I think everyone knows, but it's great news from the Lake Placid Foundation. We did get the grant for $750 for a new high resolution projector. So that is fantastic. We're waiting. We did not get the Silvamo one, and they gave more criteria for what they're looking for, which will help us in any future grant submissions. Would have helped us more before we submitted the last one because Jane worked really hard on it, but there you have it. And we have not yet heard, which probably means we didn't get it from Price Chopper Golub. So that was the only other one. Oh, no, we didn't apply to Price Chopper. Never mind. That was a -2. We did not get that one, which is actually the norm with that grant. The current active grants are the LARAC one.
That we're getting, sorry.
Yeah.
Will that be for like what Ed used for his presentation? So we would have our own instead of having, is that one we usually get from Sal's, right?
The one that Ted used was from Michelle Huck. It is her personal one.
Oh, okay.
And it not, we would get something a little better,
Okay.
but still,
That was way better than what we've got.
it's still simple for us to connect.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, because I'm not comfortable setting it up, Sarah is.
Okay.
So she was able to, and Ted was in a panic about setting it up. So
Yeah, it looked great.
And then couldn't figure out how to move the slides forward without Sarah. So she was Ted's assistant, and he would nod and she would click. It's great.
Worked well.
It did.
Teamwork.
Just a reminder, the SALS 2024 grant for the $5,000, we did get an extension on that, and the deadline is coming up. It's December 31st, and that is, we're waiting on the ductwork repair. And that is something we do need to close out by the end of this year. We were not able to request another grant for 2026 because this one hasn't been filled out yet or finished out yet. So that's just something we need to just keep an eye on.
So we need to follow with Carla.
Yep.
On both of those things.
She was waiting on the ductwork contractor, so hopefully they'll pretty soon. I guess they had a crazy summer schedule, but hopefully they were going to get scheduled soon for the fall. On the Adirondack Foundation, that was a grant we got in the spring for the writers' workshops. The Bolton principal is very excited about this, and I'm just waiting on coordination for dates. We're doing 2 workshops at school for writing, reading and writing as pleasure, writing as a job, and writing as, potential career, for 3rd grade, and one for 6th grade. We'll also do an adult writers workshop here. So we're just firming those up. Those will probably be in late October and November.
Great, very good. Thank you. So is it looking for personnel, Sunshine Committee? So Sarah Dallas is retiring then, so we can finally send things.
They had a retirement party.
Right, so we should send that.
Is it end of the month or? When is she retired?
It was supposed to be like the end of August.
Is she SARA or H?
No, it.
I wanted, I sent in August, Vernon Wetmore, Aaron gave me the address, he did the pickleball tournament donation. Sue Fowl for the Lake George Law hanging. The country store, I delivered it because we really didn't know who's up for all the flowers and everything, and then Sheila Menzies for the book. You said the church for the raffle. I think it's.
Yeah, should we do that or should we?
Wait, check.
Wait,
Okay.
check, okay.
So I think you should send it to the state tax. Probably Kara would have been, because she does do all the work.
Okay. So she'd hold up to
Oh,
the
right,
next
yeah,
meeting,
right.
that, okay. And then Sarah Dallas, and then the Lake Placid Foundation. That you get the information from Sarah. They don't require any follow-up.
They don't. What I normally do on the grants is I'll do a formal letter on letterhead with Megan's director's signature block. So I usually do that for any grants we receive.
Should we do that instead of this kind
I
of
think
thing?
so.
Oh, okay. So
And then you'll add it to the website?
It's already there.
Oh, okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a question about thank yous. I noticed in the Mirror, there was a thank you for all the book sale volunteers.
Yes.
Would it be appropriate for me to put together the name of all the 20 volunteers for Farmers Market and see if that could be published in the paper as well?
That's a good question. I don't know how often they like to do those.
We don't like to ask.
Too often.
Don't like that. I think that for a hand, a note, a thank you note is really so much time.
Yeah.
I think it's just so much.
Give me the numbers or the names.
20. There goes our postage.
Well, not that you don't have to send it to the
Board members.
board
yeah.
members. So just, you said 14 others, right?
You only have to send
But
one just.
Is it a slippery slope though? If we do it for farmers market, should we have done it for book sale? If we do it for book sale, do we need to do it for all the other? I don't know. No, I'm
Yeah.
not saying it is. I'm just saying where do you say yes and where do you say no?
Wasn't that for book sale in the Mirror?
That's true. That was at the book sale.
Yeah, and
So
there
this
was
would be a
another
thank you.
organization that had a thank you in there or
Right.
something. I
Yeah,
forgot.
okay, that's true.
What church say that?
Yeah.
That's true.
Me too.
So it's because the number of people involved in the book sale, so
The amount raised.
and the amount raised, and then this way we're doing it. Yeah, I think that would be nice. We'd have to get their addresses. So that's
Sounds like emails would be a great way to go.
Oh, we gotta find those out too.
Very people, I think.
Yeah, I think probably Megan would know the address of a lot of the people, and we do have a phone number, so we could, you could always follow up and say, I just wanted to thank you, and by the way, would you like to be are you already on our friends? Because I do have a lot of addresses, I could send you my friends list, so
Yeah, I appreciate
probably,
that.
Well,
Almost
it's volunteers
everybody.
paying.
Yes.
I'm not. Oh, hold on. We have
Let's
the
see.
friends list.
Why do you want my-
I
Of course,
think I
no.
signed up for it.
Did you?
You're not a friend,
Did
you're a
you?
trustee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're even better than a
We
friend.
should get your
You're
requests.
even
for-
better.
oh,
No, no, if you're not, yeah, you should be, because I think a lot of people have that area is either, so we may not have. Yes, okay.
I know, maybe they don't like you.
Add board members. Tired of looking at their faces.
All right. So, nobody else we can think of that needs thank yous, nobody else has stopped by or given us anything. Who gives you all those pretty flowers? Is that Carla?
Every once in a while, it's nice to send Carla, thank you. I think that Mary's already sent it once this year.
Yeah,
and
you wrote
appreciate
Jam
it.
too. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good, that's good. All right, so I would like to have a motion to accept the committee reports.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Okay, so moved. So unfinished business, we first have the donation of the Grave Rogers Liberty. Do we have any update for that?
We've added a picture of Roger. If any of you can,
Okay.
my brother-in-law,
Okay.
he is, actually, it's on the floating classroom. And it's beautiful. And then yesterday I went to Trees and bought, I think 5 books that I didn't have already. And they'll be added to the collection. My sister's brother-in-law has said that he's up for anything. If once we've used up the money that was given, there's more. He's very happy to make that donation as well. I just don't have ideas. So the books that I found yesterday at Trees were really nice, and
Let trees come up with the ideas.
they not jump all over help me. And I didn't even get this money, I'm sure this.
And I did confirm with Michelle that we can't carry over the funds to next year.
Okay.
Roger Summer needs collections, so there is no rush and spend these funds for the end of the year. I think we've been very thoughtful and.
I know that by next year, Noah's book is gonna be out and that would have to be added to the collection.
Yeah, and as we get other speakers that are
Yeah.
writing on those topics, then that gives us a fund to buy their books.
That is the friends, his friends, that was their goal. Is to have it be a, constantly expanding, changing collection.
That's very good. So, the next thing is the sexual harassment training. If you haven't done it, it's almost the end of the summer now. You're gonna have a lot more time. Sun goes down and pretty soon by 5 o'clock. And that's what you'd want to be doing one night in front of your computer. So, and the training requirements too. As a matter of fact, we wanted to mention that on the Sal's website, they had some hour-long programs that were, these are by, yes.
You know what to do.
Right, so in fact, I signed up one that's called, what is it?
3 of us signed up
What is
for
the one we just signed up for?
Oh,
And you signed up for it too, but they're just an hour long instead of the hour and a half, and it sounded like it would be something, had something to do with inclusiveness or something like that, and so how did we get, is that the
I
actual?
think that would came from,
Instead of the trustee book club,
right, this would get
Val's
Jared out.
website, education, so if you're interested, there were 3 of
There's also, there was an AI one too that was available that I think I signed up.
that teaches you about AI, so,
Scares you.
yes, I know.
I'll
So-
forward those emails from.
Yeah, if you could forward that to everybody, they may be a little easier to digest. The other ones take an hour and a half and then they have questions, or is it an hour and then they have questions that are another half hour, or something like that. So.
It's, you need 2 hours. So you end
Right.
up having to do 4 hours
Yes. just
or
for that.
3 hours.
Right.
It's tricky.
So, Any questions about those things? If not, we're gonna go on to new business. One of them is finding another trustee. You know, we have been, those of you who are on Facebook and social media and things have probably seen that we've been sending requests out to the population. And if people want to become a trustee, we have an application for them to fill out that's dated when they put it in and also who it's received by, because we had a big issue last year about people that signed up that weren't, they were a little bit late and they weren't voting. And so this way we make it very official so that it's dated and that we're asking them to verify that they live and vote in both. So that'll make it. And we actually have an applicant. I just found out tonight. So we have an interim position to fill, so I'm gonna reach out to her to see if she'd be interested in filling out that interim till the end of the year. That'll give her a nice taste of it. So I'm asking you all to be very nice to her when she comes to the next meeting. And she lives in Diamond Point. Is that still considered?
I live in Diamond.
You live in Diamond
She
Point.
uses the
Okay,
library.
yes,
She uses
okay.
the library.
You scared me for a second.
Well,
You had
it's
actually.
just in a
Okay.
town of Bolt, a lot of
Yes.
this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, Bob,
Okay.
it's like George.
Right. Okay. So, you know, I'm gonna reach out to her and maybe we'll have a new member to fill out this year. And then if what she can do then is submit her application to run, you know, be on the slate for this year, which we're hoping Amy will also be on that slate. If you'd be nice to her too, between now and the end of the year, and I will put you on the friends list, I promise. And then we'll have one. We have another opening. Are you done this year? Yeah, you have one more year. Okay, so, yeah, Mary. Wait, did everybody that's 2026?
Amy and Mary.
Yeah, Amy and Mary.
Carrie's spot.
So Mary will play. So be nice to Mary too. Maybe she'll run again. But if not, even if you don't run, I know you'll stay involved. So.
You'll feel right.
Yes. We promise we'll let you out. So I'm excited about that we got someone in that we have a more concrete process for people to join. So, but continue to, you know, spread the word out in the community, because especially this person looks like they may have some finance, but it's always good to have people with finance, people, public relations and fundraising, you know, because we want someone to help Joan. That's all. We'll see if she'd be on that committee. And so always talk us up as a possibility, people moving in this area that are looking for more than just volunteering at the flea market. Farmers market. All right. Directors continuing education. Did you talk about everything you wanted to talk about there in your I know that one of the things Sarah had requested renewing her notary.
Right.
And I think that's a great idea. Does anybody have any questions about that or anything? Because
I would think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah,
do
it
we?
is on social media.
Yeah, it is on social media, and I think it's on our website.
It's on the
And
website.
I know it goes, and periodically she has to be included in the newsletter.
I'll add it to the next newsletter. It's been a while since we put it in the newsletter.
Somebody came in today.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's a nice thing to all. Okay, Megan, did you have some things for communications?
We received a lovely card and someone from the Bixby family that the daughter shoots the library regularly while they were here. It just says, "Dear Bolton librarians, we wanted to thank you for always helping out our family. We appreciate you. In gratitude, the HF Bixby family." So not only did we get this really beautiful card, we also got a little bottle of Bixby Best. So it was beautiful.
So we're all going to have pancakes here next week?
Mars.
Oh.
We had waffles that night. It's great about that maple syrup. It's sweet, but it was delicious. And we have been asked by the Chamber of Commerce. We received a letter. They do a dinner and a auction as a fundraiser. They've asked for us to donate something. In the past, a few years ago, we did, and then it was discussed at a board meeting that it's kind of ridiculous for a not-for-profit like we are to donate something to another organization.
Gives it out to a profit making.
So, I mean, it was decided at one time that we wouldn't do that. But be aware that you are also, as the library is a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and we are always invited to go to the dinner, which is actually really very nice. This year it's going to be at the Fredericks. The last one I went to was at been at Sagamore. It's been at the Water Manor, and it's a fun night.
They're very jokey.
Do you have is there a date for that?
Yes, September 30th, and it's from. Times are not.
The family chambers website, but I didn't put it on our calendar, so I don't remember.
Right. Yeah, I mean, does anybody have a strong feeling about that one way or that? I think, I don't,
I agree with that.
yes, yeah. Okay, then the events.
I did just realize that Ted Polo is not on that list. So this is October 30th, and I will add it for the next meeting.
Is it the same talk?
Exact same.
Yes. He is hoping to actually, he got all of those photographs from the Chapman Museum, and he's hoping, there has been talk about them uploading those photographs so it would be better quality. And he's hoping to be able to access that before the next program, but I'm not sure.
Would be nice, I wonder, could we have a copy of those slides? I
don't know.
I mean, I wonder if that's something we'd even wanna, like, tape this talk, put it on our website or anything like that, or, no, I
That'd be
don't know.
kind of cool.
Just a thought.
You know, it said maybe a few of, he had a lot of pictures. I think some were,
Right,
people might find, I love the map of the lake and where the
yeah.
lakes were. And one of the points he made in his talk was that that style of vacation went out of favor because they were so far away from the main area of Boulder.
The Sagamore drove a lot of business.
Pretty much. But the Sagamore was able to offer these vacationers a centralized location, electricity, you know, the services that there was a hotel up by Black Mountain Point where there was only one way to get there. And once you were there, you were kind of stuck there. But
Coming up.
yes,
Looking for signups for that still.
we already have some people signed up.
Good.
That is the LARAC grant, so those, you do have to commit to 3 nights. That one is paid for. The winter bird talk is also part of that, the LARAC grant. And the speaker was
Joan Collins.
the speaker is Joan
Joan
Collins,
Collins.
but it was arranged by John Lowe's, who is part of the Audubon Society.
That's a free event open to the public.
And we also have the Once Upon a Time Yoga, which is Saturday, September 20th. And I've spoken to a woman about, she has therapy dogs, and she said she would love to do a program here. I just need to get in touch with her. And then Sue mentioned to Sarah that Thomas Kane wrote the Lake George history series with some gold. And I was going to ask you if that's address or a way to get that.
We agree with Sue was that you talked to because it wasn't me.
It wasn't you?
No.
God, so, oh, sure it was
He
you.
wrote that it's a
Someone said he gave presentations at the Bolton Book Club, the town book club.
He did come there, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Ask the other
if you
lady.
could find out, that would be great.
Through attrition, we have a lot less people than we used to, so. You do. And I can't ask any of those people, could you
do away with all your rules?
If we get a medium, maybe you can, because I'm not getting a medium.
There you go.
Yes.
I will ask them. We have no rules. You said who was the president? We don't really have a president.
We used to have a rule that they would meet at someone's house and they would have tea. And they would sit with people and they would chat. They would then have their meeting, but they couldn't sit next to the same person.
And I was told that the first meeting, you can't sit there, but this is where I was sitting. No, we started a different part of the meeting, you have to sit next to someone else. Okay.
And then this one woman who was part of it said, I'm 68 years old and I'm gonna sit where I am. I like you all the more.
The one event that I wanted to mention is the trunk or treat. That is October 25th, so I'll need a couple volunteers. Usually we like to have about 4 people go to that. And we set up tables, we spread out all of our books that we'll have, and we give out candy and a book to kids. So you can come to that, and a spider ring. Yeah, the spider ring. And it's really nice because, I mean, we go set up about a half hour, 45 minutes before, but the whole thing is done in like an hour and a half. So it's quick. I mean, but you see 600 people in that time. They just, there's a procession that goes by. So anyone who can volunteer for that would be great.
I will tell you that Algonda is thrilled that we participate.
They love that we give books.
They were giving books away.
I think it's earlier.
That is well, it's the 25th, far away.
One of these pies was one of these big. Oh, here it is. So it is. Oh, it's so small. Here you go. October 25th from 3 to 5. So just a few hours.
Yeah, I think they had trouble with it getting it dark and they were settling people down the entrance and people were burning down the since they didn't want to have it going up to their.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they said, it happens very, very quickly. People come all at the beginning. It's not like it. Okay. So anything else? Any additional comments? Oh,
She has one thing. I wanted Sarah to talk about the seed library that I think is very well received. She had a better grasp of the numbers, and I warned her that I was going to do that.
She did. It was pretty successful. It was our first try. I wrote to seed companies, so we got free seeds donated. And we had a sign-up sheet. We had instructions for people who aren't familiar with the free seed library. And from all the seed packets we got from Burpee and I think it was Hudson Valley Organics, we broke those down into small coin envelopes of smaller seed packets. And we ended up giving away over 300 of those.
Wow.
Yep. And so right now we're advertising on social media and everywhere else that if anyone had luck with growing things, if they could harvest their seeds and give them back, that would be great. So yeah, I'm trying to do my sunflowers right now to dry them out. So if we hopefully, yeah, that's true.
The thing is, they're picking those apart already. Right, so you have to.
Yeah.
Because do you have to let them die on?
No, I think it depends on.
You can cut them and let them dry.
I think you can. Each one's a little different.
Spread them out so they don't get.
You put a
Granted,
website on our
what they do with the sunflower.
What's that?
You put a website on our website, I think that's.
Yeah, it had a good instruction video on how to. Hopefully,
Yeah,
it'll help.
it's called the sunflower house, and it's so kids love it.
Wow.
Then when the plants go to seed, you harvest them and you do it again and again.
Great. Well, we should have to, and I think I mentioned this to Sarah, if people have pictures of their bounty. I didn't have much luck with the vegetables. I got quite a few cherry tomatoes, but I only got one squash.
The one that was
The acorn squash.
this Carla gave the
Carla and Tom and I donated the butternut.
Carla's was buttercup,
Buttercup. We did butternut.
and I wondered how that turned out. Carla said she had really good luck.
So if anybody has any seeds, bring them in.
Mhm.
I
True.
believe it would be all the worksheet books. I just have to say that I had no expectations for the state library, and people were so excited about it.
Yeah.
There were people who came in and they saw it, and they hadn't even heard about it, and you help yourself. Sarah kind of had said a limit is how many they I just the ones that I took home, my flower boxes look great, but that pink blue, and it's because I overplanted my flower boxes. They were too close together, but it was great. It had the bright green and
You have sun in that area?
there's some.
Everything seemed to need a lot of sun, and I'm some areas.
It was a crazy summer to grow anything.
I know. Oh, winter hours. I'm glad you reminded me of that.
Yes,
When
we
do
are
they
switching.
normally-
They will switch on Monday.
They will switch on Monday. Do we need to vote on the new hours? or-
They're the
No,
same.
They're the same.
It's last.
That's
So-
Labor Day.
Yes, Sarah said we're closed,
Yeah.
Yes.
but we are normally closed on Mondays after Labor Day. So the hours are staying the same as last year. So I don't think you need.
Okay. Alright. Then I guess.
Sarah's going away, so I have to work for her.
Get on the website. No.
That is all.
Yeah, I do that
Make sure that's all
Saturday. Yeah, website, both social media sites, the
The boxes
doors,
are ready to go out.
and the newsletter. So everything's prepped and ready, but I'll do it Saturday before I go.
Oh, I'm glad you reminded that. So, yep, new winter hours starting next week.
That's depressing.
You know what
It
is
is.
exciting about it? That much closer to the traffic light meter.
I like that.
All right, then, could I have a, motion?
I just had one more thing.
oh, I'm sorry,
Three of
sorry.
you who have not responded yet to this, the
Oh.
survey, you cannot get out the door.
I haven't stopped talking long enough
I
yet.
know. Gonna make sure you
Okay.
don't forget.
Thank you. Maybe I should make a copy of this.
Okay.
Get of the, person, just in case
Sure.
I get hit by a bus or something. I know that. Okay. Oh, yeah, could I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I'll second.
Okay, Lynn made.
I
So
made a
it's
motion.
8:05.
I'm going to stop the meeting now.
Right, we'll turn it around and I'll do my thing.
Was it?
Not quite there yet.